around fucking Twinkie-fed sons of bitches. Look at them forcing their fucking date into a trunk of a car. Just... And they're showboating because they got the strength and they can prove it. Look at me, all right? I couldn't fucking intimidate a toddler. Believe me, I tried. I would call myself a marksman, if anything. Because I'm not going to come up to you and be like, how you doing? You'll lock eyes with me a couple times across the bar, think everything's fine. Then you'll go to talk to a friend, meanwhile I'm fucking sinking roofies in your drink like I'm playing fucking quarters. Alright. Dislocate my shoulders, I'm fine. So, yeah. Oh, that hurts so bad. But people won't even know they've been raped by me until afterwards. They're like, why am I in the bathroom? Come out, see me, they're like, I have deja vu and my asshole hurts. I don't know what to think of that. I'd like to call that a good night. No, I'm kidding. I've never raped anybody. The closest I got to rape was with this girl I used to bang. I don't say date because I'm not a faggot. Beat the fuck. You know, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'll beat it into her bush, but I'm not going to beat around it. She's religious and retarded, which is a really good combination because they usually go hand in hand. Like, I love God. Really? Take off your pants. So we used to go out at something heavy. You know, they'd be like, we had a safety word, which is really funny to me because she picked it, and it was Jesus. You don't realize how many times you say that until you're about to bust. You're like handcuffed to some bedposts. You got like fucking nipples hooked up to a car battery with a set of jumper cables. Jesus! No, bitch, I didn't say stop. You read that. So I suggest that we change it to something like, you know, let's change the word. Let's make the word harder. Let's not make the word harder. So I'm putting her head through the fucking bedpost, just fucking railing her into the wall. And I was like, harder, harder. I thought she was just egging me on. I was like, really? Meanwhile, I'm turning her fucking pooper into a pulp. Mashing that shit up. We weren't together very long. But those are my favorite kind of relationships, where you don't get along with her at all. You meet her at a party and you fuck her, so she calls you back and you're great, why did I give her my number? I like Twilight and I like listening to Kenny Chesney. Did I tell you to take your mouth off of that? I'm sorry, girl. I'm gonna put that back in there. I'm not done. This train don't stop. Ever.
Oh my god.
But those are my favorite relationships when we can't get along at all. Because all I do is fight. Just like, it's like, hey, do you want to take me out? I'm like, no, God, quit fucking nagging me. You're pissing me off. 10 minutes later, I'm sorry, babe. So you get that great makeup sex where you're like, bitch, you better lock that door because we're breaking some fucking furniture. Get complaints from the cops. And that was the closest I ever got to rape. They thought I was really raping her. I mean, she said harder, so I gave it to her.
Yeah.
But if you're like me, you like to have a lot of fun. There's a couple things I like to do for fun in a grocery store, for instance.
Oh, shit.
You go and you grab a can of Pringles, slide it up your sleeve, you know, all slick, because everyone here has stolen something, all right? You have to admit that. Don't fucking lie to me. You sneak into the bathroom, you take half the chips out. You know, you eat the other half of the Pringles and throw them away. I don't give a fuck what you do with them. That's between you and the Pringles. You shit in the can. Put the other half of the Pringles back on top.
Oh my god.
Make sure you don't put it on top of that wrapper because someone's got to buy it. You know, they start eating it, they're all stoned, watching football, like, oh man, he tackled the ship. This is not cool. Someone pooped in my Pringles. Or you get a hit of acid, and you put it on each one of those little sprayers that, you know, kind of spritzes the produce.
Shit.
And not everyone here has the tolerance to acid like I do. Like, I'll take 12 hits and go to school and be like, ace that test. So when it's sprayed across all the produce, and all those, you know, hundreds of people, you know, a day going to the grocery store and they buy with celery or some shit, they have no tolerance to acid. So meanwhile, you just sit at home and feel good about the fact that the 6 o'clock news is coming on.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah.
The 6 o'clock news. Naked pillagers have set fire to the Kmart, butt naked. Are your kids in danger? I don't have any kids, but I'd like to see where the fuck this is going. I'd like to leave you tonight with a little thing I've invented called a cursory rhyme.
Woo! Ah!
It's like Mother Goose, except it's not made from faggots. You get 1 part Mother Goose, 2 parts vulgarity, 3 parts reality. All Ronnie. I call it a tribute to a tramp. There once was a man named Jack who had an addiction to crack, and down on his luck and in need of a buck, he'd do all he could for a sack. Well, out in the streets in the middle of the night, selling sex to whoever would buy, I'll give you a nickel if you'll tickle my pickle. As he turned, he saw there stood a guy. Well, surprised by the sight that came out of the blue, he thought to himself, what the fuck do I do? Because though craving this bag, he wouldn't get the fag, and he knew he must jerk off this dude. Well, an hour had passed, and they were finished at last, when he reminded the man of the money. He said he was poor and made a break for the door, but Jack didn't think this was funny. So traced by the tramp who had picked up the lamp, the John had been struck on his head. And as I caused him to fall in the middle of the hall, he knew that the stranger was dead. So hauled off to jail with no chance of bail and sentenced to a life without crack, where still he gets screwed by many a dude, and thus ends the story of Jack. I fucking love you.
Yeah!